Hi, friends. Welcome back to Connectedness. I'm Fernanda, your host and founder of Filled Cups. And this is the space where we explore what it means to grow, connect, and trust ourselves, and to show up authentically with each other. Today's conversation is a deeply human one. We're talking about navigating change, identity, and what it means to rebuild your life when something you once knew no longer fits. I'm joined by Paula Lesso, a divorce coach who supports women through every stage of the divorce journey, from questioning their relationship to moving through the process to rebuilding on the other side. Paula's work is rooted in her own lived experience, but and what once felt like comfortable marriage shifted suddenly and she found herself on the path to rediscovering who she really was and what she wanted. Through her experience, she developed a powerful approach that blends movement, mindset, and heart to help women move forward with clarity, strength, and renewed sense of self. Paul, I'm so grateful to have you here and welcome to Connectedness.
Fernanda, thank you so much for having me. I'm honored to be on your podcast.
Yeah, no worries. And we may hear your puppy in the background, but that's okay, right? Poor guy.
Yeah.
All right.
No.
So, would you want to take us back to the moment when everything changed for you? Tell us a little bit about your story, please.
Yeah, that would be great. Thank you for asking. And it's probably one of those like fairy tale things, like high school sweethearts and married at 21, and then as time goes by, we got nearing the 21-year mark. Things just didn't seem, the same. Something
Mhm.
changed. And I remember going to a counselor and saying I wanted to get the passion back in my
Mhm.
marriage, right? Like I needed to take care of that. I want to get the passion back in my marriage. And I probably saw her for about a year and a half, maybe. He didn't know. And
Mm.
it was for me to, take care of myself and see what I can do in reference to helping get things back on track, maybe.
Mhm.
And nothing seemed to work. Eventually, we did go see a marriage counselor, and there was a point at which I just actually found evidence of him having an affair. And so it was like, okay, I am not doing this. I'm not a marriage of one, right? And then all the feelings, right? The whole, betrayal, the whole, oh my gosh, how could this happen? Why? I mean, you go through all of that, although there's the why, there's the how could it happen, all of that. But it's like, really? And then going forward, how do you go forward from there? With all the roller coaster emotions and everything that has to happen, what do I do next? And back then, I didn't know anything about a divorce coach. I didn't know anything
Mhm.
about somebody to help me in other ways financially. All I knew was I need a lawyer.
Mhm.
And that is a lot of what happens today because people don't realize how much a divorce coach can help, can prep you, can prepare you ahead of time and really save you time and money, which I wish I had known then. And I
Mhm.
know now, that old, hindsight. But again, I don't think there was a divorce coach then. And trying to put the right mindset to it also, because it could really take you down. I was in corporate
Mhm.
time, and it was like all of a sudden something came over me, but well, let's make it like a project.
Okay.
And what are the proceedings? What do I have to do? Here's this thing. We are definitely getting divorced. So what are the steps, right?
Mhm.
We don't practice or have fire drills on, oh, just in case, how do you do this in case I go through a divorce? So that helped a lot with my mindset. And
Mhm.
then going through the proceeding and what needed to happen. So that's why I do what I do for
Okay.
women that, don't want them to feel like they're out there on their own. I'm the only one going through it. Although they say 50% of marriages, right, end in
Mhm.
divorce. Even though we know that and you're going through it, you still feel like you're the only one. You're not.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So with and I do have some questions prepared to talk about the stages of divorce and navigating it and then like rebuilding your identity. Obviously, you mentioned in your case there was infidelity and you decided you were going to get a divorce. Aside from the infidelity, I think you might have mentioned on your website that you weren't recognizing yourself anymore towards the end there, I guess. Would you mind talking a little bit more about that concept?
Sure. Sure. We didn't have children. And so
Okay.
doing a lot of things together and also getting involved in what things that he was doing, and
Mhm.
doing with him. Also realized big, huge people pleaser. So trying to please, just trying to keep the peace, just trying to, not rock the boat, just right. Just, okay, we'll go with the flow, people
Mhm.
pleaser. And
Mm.
it was huge to realize that because I didn't realize it while I was doing it. Yeah. And just, I think lack of communication, it just got comfortable,
Mm.
and it wasn't, I mean, he traveled a little bit for his work, but nothing, that would bring any problems or anything like that. It's just, I think after so many years, you just get comfortable. And if you don't communicate or have the same goals, just kind of doing your own thing for each of you, that,
Yeah, so you recognize some people pleasing, which unfortunately is a lot of women, right? Like a lot.
yeah.
I think because maybe we're indoctrinated to be people pleasers when we're younger, when we're girls, and then that just becomes our way of life, you know?
Mhm.
And then you guys had grown apart, were doing different things. Yeah, so then okay, so would you wanna talk about the concepts of like the stages of divorce? Like you said that it's a journey with three stages. Can you walk us through that framework?
Yes. So the stages, of course, first of all, it's just realizing this is what's happening. Right. And so for me, everything, the concept I've come up with, like you said, in the three stages is in our head. I mean, everything is there.
Mm.
The why, the how come, the what am I going to do, the uncertainty, what's happening, just trying to keep it all in perspective, whether
Mhm.
you're, a mom that works or doesn't work, career woman, was single, no, with no kids, but all of that, it's all in your head. And so it's about, that hamster on the wheel, right? Which is going and going and going. And it's about how do we clear that and clarity and getting some clarity and putting it all, I help women with journaling or
Mm.
just put it, some people are like, oh, the journal word. And it's like, let's just get our head clear, however you do that. Right.
Would
Because
you sorry to interrupt, Paula, but is it called the contemplation stage that the
contemplating,
yeah,
and that is one thing that you could be contemplating in the
okay.
sense of, I don't know. Do I want to stay married? Don't I want to stay married? Am I happy? Not happy? And if you're not happy,
Mhm.
then they probably aren't either. So
Mm.
what I like to do is find out from women that are contemplating this stage, what is your communication style? What are you communicating? And the other thing I go to are the five love languages. Are they being filled with
Mhm.
their love language? Or is it they're being filled with a different love language that he thinks is right
Mhm.
and it's not, it's not working. It's not. So yeah, that's one of the big things is he's doing things that don't make me happy. So what
Right.
are the things? Yeah. And then again, like if you're not happy, then he's probably not happy and you're not communicating. You're just kind of doing your own thing, going your own way. So that's one area of contemplating. The other is if there's any kind of abuse, if it's mental abuse, verbal abuse, physical abuse, and they're it's a security thing to leave.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so it's like, okay, how do we work on that? And if necessary, maybe bring in a therapist. So,
Mhm.
different modalities so that
Mm.
maybe there's something that would help.
Mm.
And, I would, if those things are happening and it is time to do the divorce, then I can help move that forward in what are the steps, with the lawyer getting you prepared for that. And then if they're in the middle of a divorce, so
Mhm.
how's it going? And it's one thing that I've kind of surprised me a
Mm.
little is seeing the ages,
Mm.
um, from 30s, maybe late 20s, depending on what's going on, 20s, 30s, all the way up to like 65,
Wow, okay.
70. They call them gray hairs.
Mhm.
All of a sudden, it's like, okay, don't want to do this anymore. It's like,
Mm.
wow. Yeah, that's a little surprising at times. I'm a part of what's called Second Saturday, and Second
Okay.
Saturday where women can come. It's free,
Okay.
and it's the second Saturday of the month. And we have a CDFA, the Certified Divorce Financial Analyst, the CDRE, which is Certified Divorce Real Estate Expert, a mindset person, or like I've spoken there as a divorce coach, a therapist, or a life coach thing, so that, to see that it's okay to calm, and then a lawyer. And so
Mm.
that they get all that information. And it's really, really a lot of information that they probably hadn't been exposed to before.
Wow.
So,
I'm
yeah.
gonna ask you for the information about that so I can put it in the show
Mhm.
notes for maybe people who might be interested in those resources or
Mhm.
in that community. I do meet a lot of ladies who are post divorce,
Mhm.
especially the monthly women's group that I co-host with my friend Lisa. It's not necessarily designed or inviting only divorcees at
Mhm.
all. It's just open to any woman, whatever stage in life. But we end up getting a higher proportion of women who are post divorce. And I think it's because they're trying to rebuild their social lives. Would you want to talk a little bit about that? Like how, like rebuilding identity after divorce or during?
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of times, depending on how long the marriage and things, you do lose yourself. As like I said, the people pleaser. You just kind of go with the flow and just let things happen, kind of, and not really
Mhm.
being who you are, because you lose yourself. You're just a part
Mhm.
of whatever's happening there. Or with kids, I've seen it. People they
Mhm.
focus on their kids, right? And then who are they once the kids go off to college or, move away? So helping them to identify, so who were you before this? And what are the
Mhm.
things what do you love to do? What lights you up? Because
Mhm.
that's something that they probably put aside for a long time. And let's get you involved or
Right.
started with those things. Yeah. And get you out with other women, because you don't want to just be isolated, because that's not good. That's not good. We're going to get out, get, around other women for community. Like you say, some of them are there
Mhm.
in your group, but I think it's community. They just need to know that it's okay. And that's huge.
Mhm.
What's next? And, really, what is it you want to be doing? The life that you thought, it changed now, but where do you want to be?
Yes. Yes. Is with as you like sorry, I'm going through all my questions here to see what have we already covered. Stay
That's okay.
grounded. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a good one. We thinking about the middle of the divorce, like that chaotic phase that's really stressful
Mhm.
for whether someone is listening to this or for listeners who maybe are supporting a friend in this stage, like what do you think actually helps to help that person who's going through the divorce versus what does not help?
So from a friend perspective, or just what in general would really help that woman? Okay. So as a
Yeah.
friend, to listen, right?
Mm,
Friends and family are great, but they understand everything that you've done, all you've been through,
mhm,
been maybe part of the marriage, or, and they know things. they will also give you their advice and what you should do. But as a
Mm.
friend, and I had a friend that was awesome because she had been through a divorce. Sit and listen, just let them speak. And she just handed me Kleenex as I needed it. I just sat there and handed her because her sister did that for her. And it was like that meant a lot that she would be doing that for me. Just let me let it all out. And that's, they again want to know that they're not alone, that they're supported. So that's one of the things that I go through with my clients is, okay, what are the things that you're feeling, that you're upset about, angry, just really get it out, right? And that way they release a lot, and
Mm.
those feelings will still come up. Things will still happen. Something will trigger, and it's okay because I say, okay, just let me know and we'll talk about it. But we want to get that roller coaster so that it's more of a wave, right? But it's going to take a while. It really does. Don't think it's going to go away, right? I mean, I was like, oh, okay. I thought I was done. And the next time, all of a sudden, I'm just crying.
Yeah.
It does happen. But yeah, being there so that they get it out. And then we talk about, okay, what's it look like now? Where do you want to be now with all of this so that they can feel more confident and empowered
Yeah.
to move forward? That's huge. Yeah.
Huge. And your
Yeah.
approach, like you mentioned, there's a magical mix of physical movement, mindset, and heart. How do those
Yes.
three things work together?
Well, I love that because it's head, heart, and health. And I thought about that. It's like really getting all of that out. Like I said, you got the hamster on the wheel and everything is up there. Just get it out, say it, write it, whatever you have to do so that you have room to think forward movement. And then the movement, they're just moving, whatever it is, walking. I mean, we'll walk and talk, whatever it might be, but for your health. I mean, and that's one of the things that I found too, is that I still had to go work out. Don't stop
Mm-hmm.
what you're doing. If you're working out, something like that, if you're walking with a friend, continue to walk with that friend. It's huge. It really helps mental state with movement.
Mm.
Exercise, working out really helps mentally. And your heart, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, your heart is so guarded right now that
Mm.
you're like, I can't feel, I can't love, I can't, right? It's all about loving who you are. I understand there's
Mm.
shame and guilt and all those things that are right. And I'm working through that. And first of all, just loving yourself as you are, accepting who you
Right.
are right then. And it all works together so that you're thinking clearly. You're going, okay, this is who I am. And
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to stay healthy. You might not feel like eating. Yeah, I got to eat, but it's all healthy and not self medicating. Because it's,
Mm.
of course, I'm thinking, or I'm just going to sleep and it'll go away, or I'm going to do this, I'm going to do, right? Trying to stay as healthy as you can, because that's just going to make you stronger
Mm-hmm.
mentally and physically to get through it. And that's where,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. It's all really important things to remember because I think when we're going through crises, our health might be the first thing to go out the window, right? Like, and yeah, when my first I've been divorced once, my first marriage, and that was such a long time ago that it's kind of a faint memory now because I think I was 26, 27. But I definitely was not thinking about continuing to move my body and take care of myself health wise at the time.
right. No, it's not common thinking,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
because some people are nervous eaters. They're,
Mhm.
stress eaters, so it's like, we gotta, okay, calm
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
So, Paula, just a closing reflection, please. Like, if someone listening is awake at night, like unsure whether they want to stay or leave, Like what would you want them to hear today?
I would want them to hear that it's okay. It's okay for those thoughts. It's okay to wonder. And then find someone like myself as a divorce coach. Doesn't mean you're getting divorced, but understanding that I know what it looks like, right? All those wondering, because I thought about that too when we weren't getting along. It's like, oh my gosh, is this it? Is this all there is to the marriage? Is it, and just wondered and divorce. And if I had someone like myself to
Mm.
speak to, the divorce coach, just think it through.
Mhm.
And, laying there going, okay, I don't know. Write down all your thoughts. Just put them down. Don't edit. Just throw it on the paper. And then we'll talk
Mhm.
talk about it, talk through it. And okay, this is what makes sense or doesn't make sense. Yeah.
Mhm. Mm. Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you. Paula, this has been such an honest and grounding conversation. I really appreciate the way you bring compassion and clarity to something that so many people struggle with in silence. If anyone listening who feels like they're in one of these stages, whether they're questioning, whether they're in the middle, or whether they're rebuilding, yeah, you're not alone. And there are people like Paula who can help you guide you through it. Paula, where can people find you and connect with your work?
And the one thing that I want to say too, and I'm sorry that I didn't mention that,
Okay.
is
Yeah.
think of me as your thinking partner through this. Okay.
Right.
So we're going to think through it together and look at it as a business, a divorce, which is unfortunate to say that.
Mhm.
And yet it is. So I'm sure you probably,
Mm.
when you were divorced, like, there's a lot of story there, but we have to turn it into a business divorce, unfortunately. So my website is paulalesso.com, and
Mhm.
paula@paulalesso.com is my email. So they can reach out to me that way. And I would
Awesome.
love to, help in any way that I can. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yes. I definitely see the need, and I see how it could be so beneficial for women going through this. So I'm glad there's people like you out there, Paula,
Thank
offering
you.
that service.
Yes.
If to everyone listening, thank you for being here. If this episode resonated with you, consider sharing it with someone who might need it. Please like and subscribe. And until next time, let's all stay connected, but also most importantly, be connected to yourself and to what
Yes.
matters most. Thank you.